Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. I just clicked on a home here in Cutler Bay for sale. Is that property still available, or did you guys already happen to put a contract on that one?
No, we just listed it, I think yesterday, or the day before.
Oh, okay, okay. That's fair. Are you the owner by any chance?
No, my son is though, and I'm just helping with the calls and setting up the appointments.
That's okay. I'm assuming you've gotten a ton of calls from agents. I'll be very transparent with you, and I'll keep it super short. I'm an agent
No,
also. I do a lot of business in Color Bay, so I'm just trying to get some context on what your son and your plan is to obviously, get buyers in the door. If you guys are open to the idea of connecting or collaborating with an agent, obviously, as long as it made sense financially for both of you guys.
yeah, of course. I think that's negotiable. I really haven't had a chance to sit down with him, but yes, I've had several calls from
Yeah,
agents. Asking about bringing in a buyer and negotiating that, which I'm sure that that's what it's going to come down to. I think we're going to have an open house, maybe not next weekend but the weekend after. But in the meantime, I can find out from him how they plan on doing that.
okay. Is he
But
local
yeah,
or
if
is
you
he like
have
out of state? Is
buyers,
that why
we'd
you guys
love.
are handling it for him?
Yes, I'm just funneling the calls.
Okay.
um, and then they have another house that's actually across the street from E-Lake that has a realtor on it. Drew Kearns is trying to sell that one. But this one, they decided to have me take the calls. And, I mean, I'm not going to find a buyer on my own.
Yeah.
So,
Are you a
but
realtor as well, or?
no.
Okay.
So I just don't think they want to get involved in the MLS and all that stuff. So I think I'm not sure what they're going to do other than have a realtor maybe bring in a buyer and then negotiate at that point. But they don't want to do a contract or anything.
I hear that.
So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you just want to keep an eye on it, it's a beautiful home, by the way, and it's the neighborhood. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, the neighborhood is absolutely amazing. And there's a few pictures up, and obviously it looks like there's some new finishes and some remodeling that's been done.
Yeah, they remodeled the whole place.
Okay.
The bathrooms, the bedrooms, everything's redone. The floors, the fireplace,
Okay.
everything. The pool everything's been resealed. It's really, yeah, it looks pretty. The
Okay.
floor in the garage, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's move-in ready.
Yeah, that's what
So,
it looks like. Yeah, and I definitely respect the fact that he's trying to do it on his own. I mean, I'm assuming at the end of the day, the bottom line is just trying to sell it for the most amount of money, right? I would assume
yeah,
is
we're
his
gonna
goal.
just. I don't even know if it's about that. Is they haven't really had good luck with the realtors. They've been through two.
I bet.
Um,
I bet.
on the but in no fault to the realtors. I mean, the interest rates, everything has been kind of out of whack, but it looks like it might be going in the right direction. So but yeah, if I have an open house and a realtor wants to bring in a buyer to take a look, then they'll have to figure it out from there.
Hmm. Now, are they going to be a part of, like, once a realtor comes in with, like, let's say a buyer and there's an offer involved, are you going to be the main point of contact, or would they step in at that point? What does that look
No,
like?
I think they'll probably step in with their attorney.
Okay. Are they
Yeah.
local here as well? Like, will they be at the open house, or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my son lives right off of 184th and probably 89th. He's one block in from 87th
Oh,
Avenue,
okay. Okay, cool.
right in that circular area right there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
was
he's
your
around the
name? I'm
corner.
sorry. I didn't catch it in the beginning.
It's
Okay.
Breton. Yeah,
Okay.
my son is.
Okay. I'm Alexis. I know, and listen, one thing that I do on the side is I train real estate agents on how to, like, make these cold calls and negotiate and help people like your son, leverage more money for their property. And I can completely agree with you guys. Most realtors, they don't have the education, they don't have the training, and they don't know what they're doing. But
Yeah,
when it comes down to a property like this, obviously you've noticed you're getting a lot of calls from realtors. Most don't know
yes,
what they're doing. They want the listing. What it comes down
yeah,
to is the proper marketing. And from what I kind of looked over the top, it's an aggressive price. I'm not saying he can't get it. It's a beautiful home.
right,
But
right.
the right representation and the right marketing is what's going to be necessary. And there's many different ways to do that without having to have a formal contract or tie him down to something that's a bad deal for him. I don't know if it'd be a horrible idea for maybe you to connect us and us to have a quick conversation. I've worked with many for sale by owners that were completely against the idea of realtors. And once they met with myself, saw my background and my history and the way that I manage transactions for them, they were a bit more open-minded. Again, I don't know how open he is to the idea of just a conversation, but I would say it's something I'd recommend because, again, it's a beautiful home. We're close to the $1 million price point, and if he sells it for anywhere from 10 to 12% less than what it could go for, we're talking about over six figures and potential losses.
As long as it sits on the market, it's not making any money.
Exactly. And again, I don't work with contracts in the way that most realtors do. I don't believe in having someone that doesn't know me sign an agreement with me where they're going to tie themselves in.
Right.
I like doing things on a performance-based basis. So if I bring you a result that you're okay with, we can then talk numbers. We can then talk contracts and all that kind of jazz. My thing is marketing, getting the property exposed in front of the right buyers, creating opportunities for my clients, and then letting them decide where they want to go from there.
All right. Well, if you want, send me a text. Just put your name in there and that you know what we talked about.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we have an open house or whatever, I'd love for you to meet him and his partner. And then you guys can go from there. And I just have a few questions that I need to ask them too.
For sure.
I'm just trying to save them from
Of course. I'm sure your son's very busy and running businesses.
Yeah, they're entrepreneurs, so they've got
a
couple things in the frying pan. So
I hear
just helping out. Yeah.
I hear you. Do you guys have a date for that open house yet or no?
No, we're hoping to do it next weekend, but we think it could be a little complicated with something else we have going on. But
okay.
We said maybe we would do something from 9 to 1 or
like
on Saturday.
I'll propose this. You can run it by him as well. I do something for every for sale by owner that I connect with. I offer to host a complimentary open house with the right marketing and the right, signs and stuff like that leading up to the property. I don't require an agreement for that or ask for a commission. It's just kind of like something that I do to put myself out there as well. I don't know if he'd be open to that since obviously he's trying to preserve his time.
Could probably show me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to pick up a book like at Staples that people could sign when they come in.
Yeah. I don't mind giving you some information, Kim. I don't know if you'd want to maybe show me the property this week. That way I can get a better look at it and I can maybe give you some pointers as to what you can do on your own. That way you can meet me as well. And if you do end up, running the idea of me and him chatting by him, it could be a little bit more formal. I don't know if that'd be a good idea.
Can you send me a text? Because we've had more of a personal conversation that I have had with the past, and I'll run it by him. Maybe I can get the keys and you and I can go over there.
Yeah.
And I'll see if you can give me some ideas.
Absolutely.
Maybe he wants me to do that. Maybe he doesn't. I'll tell him it's complimentary.
Yeah, and listen, I just want, there's a lot of different ways to sell homes, and what I like doing is, not everybody's an ideal client for me, but I like presenting them the actual strategy that goes into marketing the home, because right now, like if I'm being very honest, Kim, you're going to get more calls from realtors and investors that want to get a good deal. And that doesn't really correlate with your son making more money. What I do is strategize and, market the property, and not just the MLS, but in different ways where homeowners that are not even in Florida or Cutler Bay can look at the property and potentially submit an offer.
Right. No, I agree. God, you should look at the place on 144th that he's selling.
You said that one's with a realtor as well?
That's listed with Drew Kearns, I think.
Okay. And he's having a bad experience there?
I don't know if the experience has been bad or he just hasn't had, they've had a couple offers and then the people couldn't qualify.
Okay.
So I think that one's going for 1.3.
Okay. In the past, when I've had a client that's happy with my service and they sell another home, they've always sent me to the other home. So if he's not putting, that individual in this property might mean something. Again, I don't know. I'm just assuming. I really think the only next step is I'll send you my contact info. I'll send you a quick little video recapping so you can kind of put a face to the name as well. And then maybe you and I, again, I'm an entrepreneur as well, and I run a very, very large team and company, and I know how that time goes. So you and I can maybe meet first. If you feel like I'd be a good opportunity for your son, you can then maybe persuade him to give me an opportunity to just show him what I've done in the past, if that sounds fair.
Okay, yeah, because I too want to help,
Of course. At the end of the day, the bottom line is finding the right person. Even if a commission's involved, if the bottom,
Buddy, the street's beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
I used to
just
live in Cutler Bay myself. So
yeah, that's where I
um,
live. But I live in like the Lakes by the Bay area. This, the taxes aren't as bad as Palmetto Bay, but yet it's a beautiful neighborhood.
I
You
agree. I
know.
agree. And listen, this home is not for an investor. This is a home that's going to be for a family. And when a
Yeah,
family,
that's what
yeah,
would be nice, and I think that's what they would like to see. To be honest with you.
yeah, that's how honestly, the marketing is one part, the sales is the other part. When a family buys a home like this, obviously one part of the transaction is financial, the other part is emotional. So if I
Yeah,
can get a
you want
family
people to
emotion,
feel at home.
exactly, yeah, exactly. That's where we can leverage, another 2 or 3% on the purchase price if we bring in the right family that has the right connection to the property.
Right, right.
Okay,
Okay, well,
all right,
send me it. If
yep,
anything, I'll forward all the information to him too.
that
They're
sounds
at the
good, Kim.
UM game tonight, so it'll be sometime tomorrow or Monday.
That sounds good, Kim.
But
If you
yeah,
want, you can also send me your email via text message. I can maybe put together a quick 3 to 5 minute little video, just kind of going over some of the things that I do and what I've done in the past to, position homes
okay,
differently. And maybe you can forward that off to him. And if he finds it interesting, I'm very straight to the point. We can then maybe meet. But I'd love to meet you first. I'm okay with that as well.
okay, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. I'm Alexis, like I
Okay,
said, and I'll send you my contact information here in a
okay.
second.
Thanks for reaching out. I appreciate
You
it.
got it.
Take
Thank you for
care.
having the conversation. We'll talk. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.
That is how you do it. That is a great for sale by owner call. Although, let me pick this up here. Although I'm not meeting directly with the homeowner yet, this is $1 million property in Cutler Bay, which could lead to a 20, 25, $30,000 commission. And I did a good job, an amazing job of completely separating myself. She said it herself, completely separating myself from all the other agents. There's a lot of key questions that I use there. A lot of tonality to pick up on. And at the end of the day, my goal is to build trust with his mother to eventually be able to meet the son. And obviously, it sounds like he's an entrepreneur, a business guy. It's a numbers thing. It sounds like he's not having a good experience with the other agent. The market's very tough. So yeah, that's how I would go about a call like that. If you guys break this down and really analyze the words that I'm using and how I'm saying the words, you guys can also replicate this and set appointments in your market. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's go.